It's how your eyes actually work, and it will blow your mind. First, light enters through the cornea, which is dome shaped to help focus. Then, it passes through the pupil, which isn't actually a black circle in your eyeball, but actually a hole. It is black because there's no light inside your eye. And this is why in flash photos, you might see your eyes turn red, as the blood vessels at the back glow red as the flash bounces off them. Nerves and special receptors then turn the light into nerve impulses, which the brain can then decode. And this allows us to see.
Taking off a skirt, let her wear my shirt. Before she leave, I'ma need my shirt back.
I have to try this. It has no smell. Ooh, it's already tingling. Ooh, I feel like they're getting bigger. They are super tingly. It is really visible. It also gives the lips some nice color. I'm gonna put it all over. Oh my god, they tingle so much! On it.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
We grew attached to the tragic flaws that they hide true.
This can actually happen because of a real medical condition called craniofacial duplication. And it happens where part or all of the face is duplicated because of abnormal activity of one protein. And all of us have this protein on chromosome 7. It's Sonic the Hedgehog protein. This protein plays a key role in embryonic development and the width of facial features. In excess, it can lead to widening of facial features and duplication of facial structures. And low amounts of this protein can lead to opposite conditions like cyclopia.
Have you ever wondered how a hip replacement is performed? After the surgical approach is done, the damaged femoral head is removed and a new stem is inserted. The socket is then reamed and cleaned up and a new socket is placed. The hip is reduced and taken through a range of motion and ready for immediate weight bearing.
It's what actually happens to your knuckles when you crack them. Don't crack your knuckles, you'll get arthritis. Well, that's a lie you've been told by your parents your whole life. Contrary to popular belief, cracking your knuckles doesn't actually contribute to the development of arthritis. When you quickly pull a joint in the fingers, the joint capsule stretches and the bubbles that have built up pop.
The most painful things a human can experience. Pain is measured with the dolorimeter scale. For example, stepping on a Lego brick would be 8 on the dolorimeter scale. Passing a kidney stone is 50 on the dolorimeter scale. This is when a kidney stone leaves your body. Childbirth is 57 on the dolorimeter scale. If a human was to drink acid, that would be 62 on the dolorimeter scale. It goes without saying that you should never do this. Being hit by a train at 80 miles an hour is 67 on the dolorimeter scale. That fact may make you think twice about crossing that yellow safety line. And finally, at 70 on the dolorimeter scale is being burnt alive. That is the worst pain any human can experience.
People need to stop foam rolling the IT band or the iliotibial tract. That's what this structure is right here, this really thick piece of tissue on the side of the thigh. This is the iliotibial tract, and it's a hybrid tissue in the sense that it's both a tendon and also part of the fascial wrapping of the thigh. Now, you've probably seen this, or maybe you've done this yourself, or at least heard of it, people foam rolling the side of this to try and release it. Now, the reason why that's a problem is, for one, it's made of something called collagen, and lots of it. Collagen is a protein that is all about tensile strength. Its entire purpose in life is to resist being pulled apart. And here comes you with your little foam roller trying to rip it apart, to stretch it out because you think it's too tight. Now, you have to understand the IT band is supposed to be tight. This is a tendon. It's there to provide rigidity to the entirety of the thigh. It acts as a tension strut. But the tightness likely doesn't come from the IT band itself. Instead, it comes from the muscles that attach to it. And you can see one of those right here. This is called the tensor fasciae lati. This muscle right there, as well as the gluteus maximus on the other side, they literally blend into the IT band. So if you're experiencing tightness in the IT band, that's likely a product of the muscular tissue, not the IT band itself. When you're foam rolling, at best, you're doing nothing for the IT band. At worst, you're damaging it because you're stretching out proteins that are resisting the stretch. Now, I'm not saying there isn't some benefit at all, because there's a muscle underneath here called the vastus lateralis that you could also be foam rolling, and that can be highly beneficial. All I'm saying is, foam rolling in this attempt to stretch or release the IT band makes absolutely no sense.
Trees aren't a real thing. Don't believe the hype. It's just another evolutionary trick. The form that we think of as a tree, tall and long-lived and woody, has evolved a bunch of different times in distantly related groups of plants in response to similar environmental challenges. It's yet another textbook example of convergent evolution. So, tree doesn't even have an accepted definition. And lots of things we actually call trees are actually more closely related to other types of plants than to other so-called trees. Like palm trees, they're actually more closely related to grasses than to trees. Horse chestnut trees, more closely related to broccoli than to sweet chestnut trees. So it turns out being a tree doesn't make you part of a single evolutionary group. It's just part of a convergent evolutionary strategy. Sorry, tree huggers.
This is a demonstration of the latest skin rejuvenation tool that may be coming to a clinic near you. This is called Elicor, and it uses tiny little needles to core out pieces of skin that are less than a millimeter in diameter. Such a small injury does not leave any scarring, but it's enough that when you heal, you tighten, and it can be really good to improve laxity around the jowls or sagging neck skin. It won't be as good as doing a full facelift or neck lift, but it's minimally invasive, and when done with a board-certified dermatologist and proper anesthesia, it's essentially painless.
This is probably one of the wildest surgical procedures ever, removing half of someone's brain to cure seizures. It's known as a hemispherectomy. Surgeons would remove one cerebral hemisphere to treat severe seizures that haven't responded to any medication. You wouldn't think it, but people can survive this and be really high functioning, especially if the operation is done at a very young age when the brain is still plastic and malleable. For example, language function develops on the left side of the brain. If you remove the left side of the brain from a child, the language function could potentially shift towards the right. So their language function wouldn't really be affected. If you did that in an adult, they'd be mute. So in a hemispherectomy, you remove half the brain, the empty space fills with brain juice, cerebrospinal fluid, the other half of the brain compensates for
Excuse me, are you drilling a screw into my jaw? Well, yeah, actually, that's exactly what we're doing. See, this thing is called a TAD, or a temporary anchorage device. You see, moving teeth is kind of like a tug of war, and sometimes they aren't strong enough to pull something where we need it to be. Your jaw, on the other hand, ain't going anywhere. So we use the strength of that jaw and the TAD that goes inside to move your teeth around how we want them to. For those wondering, no, don't worry, not everybody gets these. Actually, not very many people get them at all.
Okay, so lean back.
Oh!
Remember this was an opening earlier?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, actually, I feel like I can move.
Yeah, and now you're like this small, I can't even adjust.
Thank you, officer. I'll take it from here. So, So you killed your wife, huh? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Did you really kill her? Did I? No, no, you didn't, bro. You swear to God? Alright, where'd you hide her, bro? No, you didn't. Bro, where'd you hide her, bro? I'll tell the police to go look somewhere else. In your backyard, bro. Did I? Alright, so, here's what we're gonna do. I'm telling you didn't do it, okay? But you did it though, like deadass. What'd you do? She cheated on you with your best friend. So she had it coming, huh? Man, you mean, huh? I don't blame you, bro. Alright, we'll get you. I got you.
Humans are geniuses of ingenuity. Okay, well maybe not this one, but many of them are. This right here is the patent for the 1882 mousetrap revolver, which as the name states was simply a mousetrap that utilized the revolver as the killing mechanism. Developed by James A. Williams of Fredonia, Texas, because of course this would be Texas, what other state could it possibly be? The mousetrap revolver came out approximately 12 years before the classic spring-loaded design that we now know today. But you see, in comparison to someone getting a little snap on the fingers, people for whatever reason were not exactly enthusiastic about having a loaded gun underneath your kitchen cabinet. So although the mousetrap revolver never exactly caught on, the spirit of Texas will forever live on in our hearts.
Alright, yeah. We're good. We're live, yeah. Guys, we got fucking Mike Tyson on the stream. Legend, fucking legend. Mike, thank you so much for coming, bro. I really appreciate that. Thank you, brother. I'm happy to be here, you know. It looks like you got a lot of fans, you know. 100K, that's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. Yeah, fans are great, yeah. Alright, chat, spam W in the comments if you want Mike Tyson to manhandle me and throw me on the bed. You cool with that? Oh, I haven't even been here for 5 minutes, man. Oh, I'm gonna touch you inappropriately. I'm sorry, I can't do that, brother. I can't. Alright, yeah, bro. No, it's cool. For sure. What about a kiss?
Here we go. One of my favorite procedures, a one-sided cleft lip repair. First, we take out the scarred bad skin. We then have to reorient the muscles horizontally so they're more functional, fix the skin with a flap. These kids often need multiple operations to get these perfect, but there you go. One-sided repair.
Hey, could I get some sunblock? Oh yeah, sure. Ooh, I'm gonna need more than that. What do you mean? I already gave you a lot. No, you don't understand. I am white. Like pronouncing the H in white, white. Okay, whatever. Shh. If you put me out there in the sun, that is a death sentence. I will crisp up like a goddamn creme brulee. Ever heard of Red Lobster? They'll sue me after today. Whenever the French want to surrender, they just put me up on a pole and wiggle me around. One time, I fell in a pile of snow and vanished. They didn't find me for 3 days. I'm half Irish and half Dutch. I'm about as exotic as Wonder Bread, and the world is a toaster oven. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. The sunblock. Please.
I'm blindly reacting to this. Here's a diabetic cat getting his blood sugar levels read. Okay, she pricks the earlobe. And as humans, we use our fingertips because we have a lot of blood vessels there. She's pulling off the blood. I'm amazed at how calm the cat is. He's not fighting, biting, or trying to run away. What a good boy. 300, okay, you need an insulin shot. Wonder if they use Glargine. Prozac, okay. Did you guys know the first insulin for human use came from pigs? You can imagine that we had an immune response towards it. Nowadays we get it from bacteria, and it makes human insulin. Where do you inject it? The belly? That's what we do for humans. Oh, the scruff. Interesting. Well, you learn every day.